Okay then, so welcome back to another glorious day in the Corps. This is the third and final mission of the campaign, Survive, but before we dive into explaining what it is, a couple of rules corrections that I want to make on the last two videos. Had quite a few comments popping up and pointing out various things we did wrong with there, so thank you very much for that. So a couple of things that need to correct with it. One, white lines can't be moved through, but you can see through them. It's the black lines behind them, the ones that are actually stopping line of sight and movement. The white lines just you can't move through. So if someone was here and an alien was there, you could see it, but you couldn't move through it. Line of sight can't be drawn through characters. So if we're all stacked up in a conga line here, Frost in this example cannot fire past Gorman. So going through a conga line in a corridor is a bit more dangerous than we initially thought it was. The card cost is for equipping only unless no other value is on the card. So in the last ones I was using the flamer as 4 to use. It actually says right there exhaust 2 cards to do it. So we're spending more than we needed to with that one. Also on the flamethrower, someone was mentioning that you shouldn't have a backup weapon on it. Now it doesn't say the smart gun has the bulky rule, which I think refers to that. The flamer has cumbersome, and it doesn't say on the card that you can't have a backup. So I'm not sure about that, so we're going to play it that it still does have the backup. Also, a big thing, which is why I think we sailed through the last few ones, is we draw a motion tracker card per player. So whereas we were only drawing the 1 motion tracker card, we actually should have been drawing 2 each turn. So you can expect a lot more nasty gribblies to pop up in this one. Also, line of sight is to any part of a square to another. The corners are just extreme examples. So when I was looking in the book, it's saying examples driven from corners. It is actually any part of the square to any other part of the square, so you don't necessarily have to go corner to corner, so it might help in our favour a little bit with that. So, with that out of the way, and thanks again for everyone pointing this out, because we do like to play this properly, and definitely, I think that was missing from the last few ones, like the extra challenge of having the extra motion tracker cards, so we will expect more gribblies in this one. Okay then, so on to the mission brief. This is mission 3, Survive, which is potentially the last one of our little campaign. The premise of this brief is that Ripley and Newt are trapped in the med lab with 2 Facehuggers. They are trapped because these 2 doors on the way out are barricaded and they themselves cannot unbarricade them. Ripley also does not have access to her weapons until she takes an interact action with that crate over there. So it's up to the rest of the Marines over here to try and break Ripley and Newt out of those rooms, and it's up to them to try and survive. The way Facehuggers work is they're basically the same as aliens in every way, except when they make a successful attack, they go onto the player board and off the game board, and at the end of that campaign, whichever player board they land on is just counted as killed, regardless of what happened. So quite nasty things to happen there. As for the rest of the mission, currently Bishop is off by the comm satellite trying to call in our spare dropship to get us off-world. How this is represented is after turn 4 we roll one of the 10-sided dice, and if it is equal to or less than the turn number, the dropship has been successfully called in, but we don't know which exit it will come from, exit A or exit B. We'd have to roll the 6-sided and 50-50 chance it could be either of them. So yeah, so we can't just post up on exit A waiting for it to happen. It could do that and then find out we have exit B that we need to go through. So have to have a think about that. Another addition to this mission we've not used yet are the Sentry Guns. We have 2 of them, Gun A and Gun B. The way these work is they'll just shoot at anything that comes into their line of sight for each space they go through, and every time they shoot we reduce the ammo dial by 1, and they kill whatever they shoot at on a roll of a 7. If it's a blip and we've not revealed it, it stays unrevealed, but the gun kills everything in the stack. So it could be 5 aliens on 1 space and the gun hits it once, that's it, they're all dead. Problem is, it will shoot at anything in its line of sight in front of it, which includes us. So we may have a situation where we have to wait for the gun to run dry before we can actually get past it. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So with that in mind then, hopefully last mission of the campaign, it's going to get a bit more dicey because the rule we've been pointed out that we need to draw motion trackers per player, so we're going to have twice as many gribblies. There's already 8 blips on the board before we get going. Let's see how this mission plays out. Okay then, so let's get cracking. Start the Marine phase. Reset end dials are all to the value they should be. Resolve on activation abilities. Right, so who's going to go first? Now, Ripley and Newt currently can't really do anything. They can't shoot the Facehuggers, they can't unbarricade the rooms. So I think let's activate them last. What we could potentially do is Hicks over there happens to have a bypass, and if he can interact with that computer token over there with the bypass, we should be able to discard 2 cards and unbarricade one of these doors as an action. Obviously it's going to take time for the Marines to get to the other barricaded door and unbarricade that, but it should allow us to funnel in and try and protect some of our people until that happens. So in the meantime then I'll try and get the other Marines to run up. If we had cards to burn with Gorman, he could get a spare action to try and get the other door unbarricaded, but we'll just have to see what we can work with, I think, at this point. So, would you like to do that with Hicks, since he is your character?
Yep.
Yep, so he's got the bypass action. What does that say? Whilst in a space next to a computer token, you may exhaust 2 cards to take a tech test. Okay, so it's not an automatic done, it's just a tech test. So we'd have to roll the dice and hope for the best, but yeah, better than nothing, I think.
Okay.
So, let's get Hicks to move 1, 2. And then we're going to use the equipment. It's a action. Does it exhaust the card? No, it doesn't. It just lets you take a test, so you still have that card on hand. So, Hicks's tech value is 4 when he's adjusted grunt, so we need a 4 or less, really. That's an 8. That's a fail. So that door is firmly staying shut at this point, unfortunately, and those are Hicks's 2 actions. So then we'll get Gorman to activate. So we'll move him 1, 2, 3, 4, and just 1 down to there, because because I still think he can't go through there because that would draw a line through the wall, so he can't move diagonally around that, so we can't unbarricade that this turn, unfortunately. Who else has good tech value? Hudson does. So we'll just get Hudson with his better tech value to move in and give a hand. Where he's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Frost with the Flamer. We've already got 2 bodies with weapons in there, so I'm not worried about the Facehuggers when they come out. But it's just trying to get in there first. So I'll get Frost to move 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just have a look down this corridor in case something nasty jumps out at us. So, obviously, you've got Ripley and Newt there. You can move them about if you want to. They can't unbarricade the door or anything. Or you've got Vasquez yet to activate. There's currently nothing there.
4.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. As callous as this may be, but it may actually be better to put Newt in line first for a Facehugger. Right? I know that sounds horrific, but hear me out. Ripley has a defense value of 6. Newt has one of 7. She's more likely to survive it. Ripley's passive ability as well is you can exhaust a card, choose a character within 4 spaces, and then they can re-roll a failed defense roll.
Okay.
So putting Newt first, she's got a stronger chance of surviving, and Ripley can re-roll the failed defense roll for her.
Okay, yeah.
Sounds horrible, but is that something you'd like to do, or is that just too morally horrendous to even consider?
No, that's fair.
Okay, go on then, little girl, you can get in line. So 1, 2 for Newt, 1, 2 for Ripley. So hide behind the little girl from the nasty aliens. Sweet. Speaking of nasty aliens, let's do the alien phase. So activate aliens. Currently none on the board. Activate blips. So first blip is how far do they move this turn? 1. So a single space. Blip moves 1. Sentry Gun B fires. So it reduces its value down from 450 to 400 because they're in values of 50. Roll the dice. On a 7, that blip is destroyed. That's a 4. That blip's fine. Next one. Yoink. 350 left on the ammo count. 7 to hit. That's a 4. This one is destroyed. So we don't look and see how many we destroyed. It's just removed. This one. Yoink. 7 or less. That's a 4. Gone. And then this final one. Roll it. 10. So that one missed, but didn't do that for the last one, didn't do that for that one. So we are down 200 rounds of ammo, so there's only 5 shots left in that sentry gun, but it has taken out 2 of the blips. Excellent. What about these ones? How far do they move? 3. Okay, so the sentry gun fires for each space of movement it moves. So this one takes a shot. 7 or less. 6, destroyed. This one, 7 or less. That's an 8. Spend the ammo. Moves again. Spend the ammo. Star is a 1. That is also destroyed. This one, 1, 7 or less. 8. Spend. 4. That one's dead. This one, spend the ammo. You cocked. 9. Moves again. 7 or less. 5. Destroyed. So, Sentry Gun A has obliterated all the blips in there, but looking at the ammo counter, it only has 100 rounds, which is 2 shots left, whereas Sentry Gun B has 250 shots, which is 5 active rounds left, and 2 blips still on the board. Draw motion trackers. For this mission, we do not draw motion trackers until turn 2, so we ignore it for this one. But we do have the Facehuggers, which should have activated with the Activate Aliens, but it's not affected anything, so we'll just carry on. Like all aliens, they move 6, so 1, 2, and attacks Newt. Okay, so you roll the marine die, the D10, and compare it against the defense value, which is 7, so you need a 7 or less. 8. So, do you want to use Ripley's passive ability to try and get that re-rolled? We'd have to exhaust a card to do it, but yeah. If you want to do that?
Yeah.
Yep, so exhausting a card, re-roll it. Star, Newt's fine. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a melee value of any kind, however, so she doesn't kill the Facehugger, but she's survived the attack. Next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same deal. 7 or less. Nope. Do we have anything for that? How many times could you... once per turn with Ripley's passive. So... oh dear, we've just killed a little girl. Oh dear. We're fit. So, who are the actual monsters? Is it the Xenomorphs, or was it us? / me? But, so unfortunately Newt has been facehuggered. I'm not sure if it says this in the rules anywhere, but I think that would mean the facehugger would try and go after Ripley, because there's no point going on the board again. So when there's already got one on it. So, whoops! Oh well. We tried. Didn't work. As we go into turn 2. Whoops!
Are we the virus, Dale?
So, quick correction, we should have exhausted 2 cards from the last turn when we did the bypass. And do you want to continue doing that again?
Yep.
Yep, so 2 cards, attempting a bypass. So need a 4 or less on that to unbarricade a door. Star, door unlocks. Which one do you want? Okay, so successful tech test. We are unbarricading this door. We've got one of them out. Bit late for Newt, unfortunately, but whoops. Hicks also has another action, so he could attempt to unbarricade the other door as well if you would like to do that.
Yeah.
Or you can move him off.
Yeah, have a look at the other door.
Okay, second action, doing the same bypass, exhausting 2 cards, needing 4 or less on the tech test. 2! Other doors unbarricaded, excellent. Good for next turn.
I'll move Ripley over there then.
Yep, so 1, 2, 3, 4, because can't finish on her character. 1, 2, 3, 4, there. So next turn she can get stuff and away we go. Okay. Do you want to move Newt out of the way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just put it there. Okay, then I will activate. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so whoever we send in there, we're going to be blocking line of sight. So what my thinking is, Hudson can see that facehugger from there. So I'll take a shot with him first. If that fails, then I'll send in Gorman with the flamer. So Hudson first, aim dial of 6. Takes a shot with the pulse rifle. Exhausts a card when you take an attack action. So 1 card exhausted. Let's roll that ring die. Aim value of 6. 4. Shoot. Blam. Dead goes the facehugger. Sorted. So since that's no longer a problem, I'll get Hudson to move out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's... should should have drawn 2 endurance cards for Gorman at the end of last turn. I'll do it now. Activate Gorman. Let's start to move our way down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the end of activation, I will draw another 2 cards. None of them are hazards, so we're all good on that front. Okay, so Vasquez is using both actions to aim twice. Her aim value has gone up from 6 to 8. Frost. Well, the Flamer, you kind of don't need to aim with it. I think he's alright as is. I'll use him to rest to get these exhausted cards back into the deck. So I'll rest him twice. We recycle 3 cards. Hicks has already gone. Ripley's gone. Newt's gone. Vasquez. Yep, all done. So, end of Marine turn. So, managed to get the doors open. Ripley's out and safe. Sorry, Newt. Bit too slow. But never mind. As we go into the alien phase. So first off, activate aliens. No aliens on the board. Activate blips. We've got 2 here. How far do they move? 4. So this first one moves 1, and Sentry Gun B opens fire. Reduces ammo from 250 to 200. 7 or less. That's a 9. That's a miss. Blip moves again. Reduce ammo count. 7. 2. That's destroyed. This blip moves 1. Ammo goes down again. 7 or less. That's an 8. Moves again. Ammo goes down. Oops. Well, it's destroyed anyway, even though we did flip it, but by accident. So yeah. So, Sentry Guns have destroyed all the blips. However, there is only 1 shot in Sentry Gun B and 2 in Sentry Gun A left. So they've destroyed the blips, but they're going to run dry very, very shortly. Okay, now we both draw motion tracker cards because there are 2 players in this game. So, first off, this one. A blip on number 2. Exhaust 1 card for each character within line of sight of the blip when it spawns. It spawns on 2. There is no one in line of sight of 2, so we ignore that. And a blip on 4. If the spawn point already has a blip, it moves 4 spaces. 4 is currently free, so it spawns there, but we flip it. 3 Xenomorphs. Yep, so 3 Xenomorphs have crawled out of spawn point 4, and now we go into turn 3. So going into turn 3 then, start the Marine turn. So we've got some nasty gribblies there that we might want to do something about. But first, Ripley, do you want to get your guns back?
Yeah.
Yep, so takes 1 action, that crate goes off the board. Ripley now has access to her weapons again, and equipment and all that good stuff. So, where do you want to move after that one, because you've still got an action left?
I'll move out into the hallway.
Yep, moves 5 with Ripley. 5. Good stuff. Okay, so Gorman's got his flamethrower. I'm just thinking that may be a bit over, and I'll only get 1 shot if I kind of move up close to it. Do you know what? They're going to be popping out for this the entire game, aren't they? So I might as well get closer anyway. 1, 2. And then I will open up with the flamethrower for the second action, burning 2 cards to do so. Okay, yep, so going straight onto there. Roll for each model and token in the space. So there are 3. So first alien, needing a 7 or less to hit. First one's destroyed. Second one. Second one's destroyed. Third one. Third one is not. So the Flamer kills 2 Xenomorphs, but 1 is left. Oh yeah, I'll also, at the end of his activation, draw 2 endurance cards. And that's a hazard. So we have to play that as instant it's drawn. Reveal cards until you reveal a blue, or you reveal 5 cards. Discard all the revealed cards. Okay, if you discard 1 or more hazard in this way, shuffle it back into the deck. Okay, so we need a blue card early. There we go, blue card. And that just gets discarded. So that goes in the discard pile. So that's out of our deck now. Dear. Shuffle it back into. Otherwise, discard this card. Yeah. So since we didn't reveal another hazard with that, that is also out of the campaign as well, thankfully. So yeah, it was game over, man. But It could have been a lot worse. Okay, yeah, let's get Hudson on the go. So, he can actually see that Xenomorph from there. So I might stand where I am and just take a shot. So his aim value is 6. Shooting with the pulse rifle, spends a card to do so. That's a 5. That's a dead Xenomorph. Off he goes. Reduces the aim dial from 6 to 5. And he kind of can see everything from there, I suppose, now I think of it, so he's fine to stay where he is. So I will get him to take an aim action, just in case any other nasties pop up in the meantime. So he's back up to 6 on the aim dial. What next? So Ripley's gone, Gorman's gone, Hudson's gone, Vasquez has nothing to shoot. Do you want to double aim with Vasquez again?
Yeah.
Because we should have reset the tile, but leave it at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Frost, I will get him to rest twice again to get all these cards back into the bottom of our draw pile. Hicks, currently stood over there doing note.
Yeah, I'll move him up, I think.
Where do you want him to go? Yep. 2, 1.
Wait, where was I?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Okay, and I believe that is everybody. So, on to the alien turn then. So, first off, active aliens. Killed all the Xenomorphs, great. Activate blips. We have blips here. How far does it move? It moves 5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And since it's not next to that door, the sentry gun can't see it. So, it isn't shooting at it yet. Okay, that's the rest of the active blips. So we draw motion tracker cards. What do we get? 2 blips on 4. After you place blips, move each blip in play 3 spaces. 1, 2 on number 4, and I move 3. So we'll stick them there and there. Flip them because they're in line of sight. Single Xenomorph, 4 Xenomorphs, and do the next motion tracker card, which is a single one on 3. Exhaust 1 card for each character within line of sight to the blip when it spawns. Oh dear. So, blip comes on 3. There are 2 Xenomorphs there, but more importantly, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters that can see it, and we exhaust 1 card for each that can see it. 1, 2, 3, oh dear, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, I can see how that'd be bad. Okay then, so at the end of the alien phase, a couple have sprung out of spawn point 4 after where Gorman burnt the last ones and took him by surprise. And over here as well, one's popped off on the other side of the corridor. Surprising us all so much, we've actually exhausted some of our ammo shooting wildly into the air. Hooray! So, back to the marine phase. So reset the aim dials. Let's dive straight back in. Okay then, so at the start of turn 4 we get a signal coming in from Bishop. He's reached the satellite dish and he's trying to get the dropship in. So what we do is we roll the marine dice, and if it's equal or less than the turn number, in this case 4, the dropship arrives and we know which exit we can exit the board from. So 4 or less. 10. Nope, not this turn. We still haven't got the dropship, so we need to keep surviving. Okay, so let's activate Gorman first. Because he's in that Xenomorph pile. It does say that when in the rules, when you end next to a Xenomorph, you cease your movement, but it doesn't say you can't move away when there's one there. So I'll get him to move 1, and he stops because he's still next to a Xenomorph. But that has got him enough distance away to use the flamethrower, fire it here, and try and scorch those guys. So I'm going to attempt to do that with the second action. So exhausting 2 cards to fire the flamer onto every Xenomorph here because I'm firing at that space there. So, the guy on his own, 7 or less. Roasted. In this pile, there are currently 4 Xenomorphs in it. First one, dead. Second one, dead. Third one, dead. Fourth one, yes! 5 Xenomorphs in 1 flamer attack. That is some good stuff. And Gorman is clear. Yeah, that's some good work. Cool. So at the end of Gorman's as well, I will draw 2 endurance cards because I want to try and build him up for activating and giving other Marines extra turns later because we may need them. And that's Gorman done. Would you like to do one of yours?
I think I'll shoot this one.
Vasquez? Okay, so when Vasquez fires, you exhaust 2 cards instead of 3 for the smart gun, and you roll both those dice, and you need equal to or less of the aim on either of them. So, firing at this mob of aliens, the first one in the pack, you need 6 or less on either of those. That's a 4 and a 5. One's dead. Yep. And again, so aim dial goes down to 5, 5 or less. That's a 5s. And there goes that Xenomorph. Brilliant. Oh no, it's full auto, so you exhaust an extra card per shot. Yes.
That's what we did last.
Yeah, cool. Okay, clear of Xenomorphs for the most part. Yes, there's one blip over there, but it's not currently a problem. One problem that I think that scout from the last one, the one that popped up on 3 torters, is maybe it's not a good idea to have everyone in the corridor at once. Because then that did exhaust a lot of the cards. But you'd get extra shots, and I can just rest the guys now. So I will rest Frost twice to put 6 cards back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will rest Hudson to do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we're back up to almost full endurance deck. Vasquez has shot, Ripley hasn't done anything, Newt hasn't done anything. What would you like to do with Ripley and Hicks, actually?
Yeah.
Aim twice, increase the aim dial, just in case any nasty wibblies pop up out of us. So, yep, so Ripley's aim dial goes up from 7 to 9. Okay, and that is the end of the Marine turn. So, on to the alien phase. Activate aliens. Kill them all. Great. Activate blips. How far does this one go? 2 spaces. 1, the door opens, the turret sees it. It fires, hitting on a 7 or less. That's an 8. Misses. It moves a 2nd space, fires again. Actually, no, it doesn't fire again. That would have ran dry. Ran dry with the first shot. So, Sentry Gun B is out of ammo, and the blip is right there. Okay. So, now we draw motion tracker cards, drawing 2 of them. There's a blip on number 1. Alien Lurker, if this blip is placed on a spawn point within line of sight, it immediately moves 4. It is not within line of sight, so it stops on number 1. Oh, hang on. If it is not placed on a spawn point within line of sight, it immediately moves 4. So yeah, it's out of line of sight, so that blip moves 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turret can now see it. Takes a shot. 7 or less. That's a 9, it's still alive. And the other one, alien drones, single blip on 2. Gonna blip on spawn point 2. Players must either discard 1 barricade in play or place a 2nd blip at spawn point 1. Yep, so alien drones, we don't have a barricade in play to disregard, so we get 1 that spawns on 2, and the extra 1 spawns at spawn point 1. So they've spread themselves out across the board somewhat. Okay. So we've got 4 blips on the board and only 1 turret left that has a single shot in it. So don't have to worry about the smart guns anymore for us, but we really need that exit open as we move into turn 5. Okay then, so at the start of turn 5, roll the Marine dice to see if Bishop has called in the dropship, if you please. Needing a 5 or less on the Marine die. That's a 9, the dropship is still not here. So going into the Marine turn then, there's a couple of blips around there, and that first one is going to step past that turret. So we are going to see it next turn. Ooh. Concern. So let's get Gorman to step up and have a peek through that door. What is it? It's 4 Xenomorphs. 4 Xenomorphs around the corner. We'll take the second action to fire the flamer, earning 2 cards to do so, and rolling the Marine die against every alien in the stack. There are 4 in that stack. So the first one, 7 or less, dies. Second one, dies. Third one, dies. Yes! Damn. Gorman's hosting a cookout with this flamer today. Jesus! That's a lot of dead Xenomorphs. Brilliant. Okay, yeah, that's him done. At the end of his as well, draw 2 cards. Still no hazards. Excellent, excellent. Okay, then move on to one of the other characters. So there are a couple of blips coming out there that are going to pose a problem. Sentry Gun A has 1 shot left in it, and it's definitely not going to deal with all of them. So maybe we want to move up there and potentially take a poke, because we may have to exit through exit A. So I'm thinking I'll step him back 1. And we'll exhaust those, recycle those cards back in by taking another rest action. And that's Frost done. The rest of the Marines.
Just aim, I think.
Yeah, aiming with everybody. So Hicks, Vasquez, Ripley, and Hudson are all taking aim actions. So everybody's aim dial increases by 2. Okay. So, moving on to the alien phase. Activate blips. So, the blips on this board, how far do they move? 6. That was a good call. So, this blip moves 1 in. Sentry Gun sees it, takes its last shot at the stack. Both Sentry Guns are now out of ammo. Hits on a 7. That's an 8. Misses. Blip still alive. Moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is just a single Xenomorph there. Whoop. This blip over here moves 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can draw a line of sight to it there. Is 2 Xenomorphs. 2 Xenomorphs right next to the dead Sentry Gun. Okay, drawing motion tracker cards.
No, there's still a blip.
Ah, correct. There is still a blip on 2. I forgot about that one. So how far does this guy move? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now motion trackers. First one. Blip on number 1. Reveal a card. If it's a blue, place another blip at spawn 2. If it's a red, place another at spawn 1. Reveal a card. It's yellow, it's neither. So they don't get anything, and because it's a reveal, not an exhaust, that goes straight to the bottom of the deck. But we still get that 1 blip on spawn point 1. Just over there. Second card. Single blip on 3. If the spawn point already has a blip or alien model, move the blip 4 spaces towards the nearest character. Nope. There is not one currently on it, so we just get blip on 3. It's in line of sight. It is a stack of 4 Xenomorphs. So 4 Xenomorphs have popped out of spawn point 3. Okay, so starting to look dicey from exit A as we move into turn 6. Okay then, so start of turn 6, it's starting to look dicey. Has Bishop got the dropship in? Roll that dice. Needing 6 or less. Star, yes, dropship is here. So where is it? Rolling the alien dice. 1 to 3, it's exit A. Anything else, it's exit B. 4, it is exit B. That's what we wanted. So all the aliens coming out of exit A, we don't necessarily need to worry about them if we can just make it off the board to exit B. So going into the Marine phase. Right. Operation Leggett, I think, perhaps, maybe. So Gorman's down here, and we kind of need everyone else to get to him. So I might play some cards to try and get people closer to us, so we can try and get them out of there. So, okay then. So first of Gorman's actions then, when he activates, I'm going to spend 3 cards to do Keep Moving, baby. Each character may move up to 2 spaces. Marine vet characters that move may draw an endurance card if they want to. So, paying 3 cards, that's a reshuffle. Okay, so that's reshuffled, paying the other 2 cards, 1, 2, and using that one. Oh, actually, let me just check. Does that get exhausted or does it get discarded? I think it gets discarded, but let's check. Okay, so I've paid the exhaust cost to use this card, and when you use a card ability, it goes on top of the exhaust deck. So that goes back into there. So every single character may move up to 2 spaces. So let's get everybody out, I think. So are you alright for everyone to move 2 spaces towards exit B?
Yeah.
Yep, so Frost, 1, 2. Hicks, 1, 2. Ripley 1, 2. Hudson 1, 2. Newt 1, 2. And Vasquez 1, 2. Let's put her there so she still has line of sight onto those guys. Okay, and then for the second one, Stop Your Grinning. Costs nothing to play, but reveal a card. If it's green, search the exhaust pile for any one card add to my hand. If it's yellow, look at the top 5 cards in the motion tracker deck. This is what I want, because I can choose to put those cards on the bottom of the deck, return the rest of the top in any order. So I want to get rid of some potentially bad motion tracker cards. So, reveal a card. Looking for yellow, but green would be nice. It's a red. Reveal a card. If it's blue, green or yellow, exhaust 8 endurance cards and then discard. And if it's red, exhaust 6. Oh dear. So, reveal a card. Yeah, it's yellow. So that gets discarded, thankfully. But we need to exhaust 8 endurance cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that one just goes to the bottom because it was revealed and it automatically gets recycled when you reveal. Okay, so that's a lot of cards now into the exhaust deck. Thanks, Burke. You're absolutely great. And that also goes onto the exhaust because that's the card I just played, and that's Gorman done. So let's do some of the other Marines. So, would you like to activate yours? So, the Xenomorphs are quite far away. We know we need off exit B. I'm thinking just dead sprint at this point.
Yeah, because they're far enough away.
Yeah, and we can outrun them if we move twice, because they can move a max of 6, we can move 8.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Run away.
Yep, Operation Runaway, live another day. So, Ripley can move 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hudson moves 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Newt moves 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Vasquez 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hicks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Frost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're almost at the exit, so let's hope no nasty gribblies pop up from spawn point 2 or 4 and kind of trap us here longer than we need to be. Okay, so the Marines are quickly making their way to exit B in the dropship in Operation Run as fast as you can, but let's see what Xenomorphs do as we go into the alien phase. First off, activate aliens. All aliens move 6 naturally, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Precarious Jenga tower of aliens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, activate blips. There is currently a blip up there. Where does it go? What does it do? It moves 3. 1, 2, 3. Motion tracker cards. There are 2 that we need to draw. First one. Blip on spawn point 2. If it already has a blip, it moves 4. It does not. So we just get a blip on spawn point 2. Next one. Single blip on number 1. Players must either discard 1 barricade in play or put a second blip at spawn point 1. It's right on the other side of the board, so I'm thinking just 2 blips on spawn point 1. Okay, so everyone's off the board almost as we go into the next turn with the aliens hot behind us. Moving into turn 7. So, Marines. Run?
Yeah.
Let's see how far... Let's see if Gorman can actually get off the board first. Because if not, we may have to stick around for a while just to see. Because we don't want one guy trapped on their own with a blip as it comes around a corner. So, Gorman can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, let's not extract this turn. And obviously wary of the blip there. Because there's the door there, you'd have to be stood there in order to see that blip, and it could be a really big horde.
Why don't you...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good point. Why don't we barricade it? Frost has an arc welder. He could do just that. Where is he? He's back here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It's not close enough. We could get someone else to do a tech test to do it. Ripley has a tech of 6. If you'd like to have a quick crack at it, that might be helpful.
Okay.
So she moves 1 to get up close to that door. We'll stick to the side, you can still do that. And taking a test. Needing 6 or less to barricade that door. That's a 7. The door is unbarricaded still. Newt has a tech skill. She's doing no else. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, no. Actually, let's not do that. Because her tech test is not good, and she's kind of blocking the door because Ripley and Gorman are both gone already. So we need someone with better tech.
He's not high.
Hudson has it, and I think he's in range. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So let's get Hudson to attempt to barricade that door, needing a 6 or less tech test. That's a 5. That door is barricaded. So should we just move everybody else up to exit B? Yep. So Vasquez 1, 2, 3, 4. Hicks 1, 2, 3, 4. Frost 1, 2, 3, 4. And those 3 can do rest actions to try and get some of these cards back in, I think.
Yeah.
So recycling 9 cards from the exhaust pile. Okay, so the Marines are done. Now we're on to the alien phase. Activate aliens. They all move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, activate blips. This guy here, how far does he move? 3. So, 1, 2, 3. Those guys up there, how far do they move? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Motion tracker cards. Let's flip 2 of them. False alarm. Recycle a card. Huh, okay. Thought they were all bad news, so that's good for us. And this one, false alarm. Recycle a card. Hooray! Okay, well, that was quite in our favour. So Xenomorphs are hot on our heels, but as we go into turn 2, I think we just move everybody off for the win. Yeah?
Yeah.
Everybody out of here. Sweet. Okay, so everybody's off the board. You would call that mission success, except someone had a facehugger. So Newt unfortunately dies. Whoops. So that is the sacrifice of a small child. Hooray. We are the monsters after all, but most of us are still alive. So huzzah. Right. So again, even with the extra motion tracker cards and the rules corrections, I think we got quite lucky with that one again. Like, the turrets managed to, yeah, they did all right. Like, there were a couple of times they missed, but not many that got through, so that was good. Gorman with his flamer rampage, Jesus, that really helped in our favour. And the fact the dropship came relatively early, like after just 2 turns of rolling for it. We could have been stuck in the middle and had to deal with all these guys bearing down on us, so that could have gone way, way, way worse. But I think that was quite a good run, all things considered, and quite an excellent game. Like, really quite enjoying playing this one. So, if people are up for it, I may do some of the other bug hunt missions, which are optional one-off ones. A fair bit harder since you just start with a pistol and have to find gear. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. So, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you can join us another time for another glorious day in the core.